there's a whole bunch of things that happens that I take care of. But if I'm going to just chunk them down to maybe like 3 or 4 categories, I'll just touch on each one just to give you guys just a little bit of more understanding on what the heart matrix experience is like. So the first thing that I'd like to touch on is cords, energy cords. So essentially, energy vampires, people that are sucking you dry. Essentially what that comes from is a belief that we are not powerful, as in we are not powerful, as in full of power and don't need any more. And so the illusion that we are not powerful and that person over there may not feel very powerful is the reason for the energy cord. Now, they may not understand energy, they may not understand cords, but there is still that attachment and energy exchange that takes place. There are cords with a lot of people, anybody that you have an attachment with, so to speak, but more so the people that are draining you dry. Now, I want to point out now, there are a lot of cords and there are a lot of different instances where there are cords attached. So mother and baby, there's a cord attached there, like after birth, of course. There's cords in relationships. When you get quite intimate with someone, generally a cord can start forming that way. If you have a work colleague that is just in your head in and you can't get them out of your head, and you try and think of something else and they're still there, and you try and think of something else and something there, and then you I don't know, you might listen to Spice Girls, you get that song stuck in your head, but they're still there over the top of that song. That's because it's an energy cord that's been attached. Now, the illusion that you're not powerful is the reason for the cord. So they think that they're not enough and they need to take something from you. And that's why it feels like some people are just quite literally draining you dry. Now, all cords are bad as far as I'm concerned. So I'm powerful and you're powerful. I would love to be able to spend time with you. I would love to be able to, co-create with you, but I don't need anything from you and you don't need anything from me. And that's how we'd like to keep it. And so there's no reason for a cord, so to speak. And plus, in any type of relationship, needy's not a good look anyway. Now, when the cords have been severed, let's just say there was an abusive relationship, a man and a woman, and then they broke up. And the man was not a very nice person. He didn't like himself very much, and he was a bit abusive and all of that type of scenario. And so then they've broken up and they've severed contact with each other. And now the cord, I'll come in and I might work with the lady, and we'll cut the cord. So we'll cut the cord, and almost to the second, in a lot of cases, the person who the cord was attached to, they will feel a sense of loss. And they don't understand cords, they don't understand energy, but they'll understand that they feel that they've lost something. And they'll also, out of the blue, feel the need to try and reconnect with that particular person, whether it be in person, whether it be over the phone, through text, through email, social media, whatever it may be, because they feel and because they need to reestablish that connection, reestablish that cord. So in that particular case, you need to sever the contact. And then if the person's that needy, after a few days, they'll probably find somebody else to attach a cord to, so you should be cool there, but you need to sever contact. If that particular man that the cord was cut off from, if he happened to be a bit of an axe murderer, I haven't ever come across this, but what I would say is go stay at your mum's for a couple of nights, just to play it safe till the energy is dissipated, that type of thing, because it is quite often where when the cord's cut, the person will try and re-establish a connection. They could be on the other side of the world and then somehow find you on Facebook, whatever that may be, but just keep the contact severed, and then that will just fade away. Another thing that I've come across a lot is now some people call them chips, some people call them implants. I just call them devices. And essentially the device has a few roles that I've come across. The easiest way to think of it is some type of little computer or something like that, and it's been programmed to do a particular thing. If you think you've got like a little calculator or like a little motherboard or something somewhere on you, and then that motherboard is designed to trigger some type of response. Generally, it's either to extract energy, right, and send it somewhere else, or it's designed to fog you up and keep you in pain. essentially. And so you can think of it as a form of mind control. So finally, when you you've been working hard, and you're about to get your act together, and you're finally going to do that thing, and you're feeling great about it, and then out of the blue, then all of a sudden, I just don't feel myself right now. It's because that device is almost like little electrodes on your brain that is stopping you from moving forward. So that's one of the main roles. Or the device could be to keep you in panic. It could be to make you go into some type of panic attack, or feel less than all of a sudden out of the blue, and all of that. But the main role is to keep you in pain and stop you from moving forward. And the other role is to extract energy. Now, human sexual energy, there's a lot of devices that tap into that stuff, because that's like the shell optimax, so to speak, of energy. And there are other beings that, or entities or energies that would love to have that energy sent to them via that particular way of extracting it. So when the devices are removed, you may feel a lot more pleasure if there were any, sexually, or you might just be able to just choose and act at will, and act and follow through and follow. But yeah, so once those are removed, and they can be removed quite quickly, that'll help you to be able to keep moving forward and realize that you are in control. The next thing that I'd like to talk about is a big deal. So it's entity removal. Some people call them shadow parasites, whatever label that you want to use. It's energies or beings or whatever you want to call it, that basically at some point, if you think of your body as a car, the vehicle, and at some point these beings have been able to enter your car, take the steering wheel, and they're driving and you're in the back seat. That's essentially what's going on. And so now some of them come from a lower vibration. So like if we're here in, we'll just say 3D right now, and now we go up to the dizzying highs of love in our experience, which is really cool. Now the lower vibrational beings, they only go up to hurt, pain, suffering, despair, anger, and to them that's love. Now the sneaky little buggers have found a way to be able to extract energy from us and find a nice place where they can get free food. So basically, if they found a way to be able to take control of the vehicle at some point, and some of those reasons how they can take control of that vehicle is, well, one, they've been invited. So there may have been a trauma or something along those lines, and in that moment, to get through that terrible trauma, you've asked for help. And entities are like dogs. If you call one, they'll come. And so in that moment, you may not fully understand consciously what's gone on, but you've asked for help, and then there's been an exchange, and the entity could turn around and say, okay, well, I'll help you through this moment, but you got to do something for me. And then they've been given the right to your vehicle, so to speak. So that's one instance. Some of them that we just create as a form of protection for ourselves. Maybe your heart was broken, so you've made your own one to protect you. I've pulled out, like a dragon, like a little baby dragon kind of thing. Well, a big dragon, but it was small, that flew around a client's heart to keep it safe. And that was put in there from a little child. And, that was really beautiful. But those beings, some of them low vibration, but some of them are higher vibration. So from the next reality, the next dimension up, if you want to call it 4D or 5D or whatever you're happy with, but the higher dimensional beings, a lot of people have an idea that if it's a higher vibration, or if it's a higher dimension, that everything's just peachy creamy there. But there are still not very nice beings in the higher dimensions as well. And some of them get really sneaky, and what they'll do is they'll use because they know the rules, essentially. So they'll use their knowledge of the rules, and they can then they'll either do it themselves, or then they'll use a low vibrational being, almost like a slave, combined with devices and stuff, and it'll get just enough food to get by and all of that, because they feed off your pain. They want to influence your decisions and feed off your pain, and then they'll extract the energy, and then they'll send it to the higher vibrational being, like a slave. So those ones I really enjoy doing, because they know what they're doing, and they know that they're doing wrong. Whereas some of the low vibration ones, they're just hungry, and they're just trying to survive. thing that you want to think about is, if you think of your body as a rental property, and you've had some crackheads living in there, and they've been punching up the walls and stuff. They were the entities, so to speak, and so you've got them evicted, and you've sent them on their way, and you've got yourself a plaster in. You've made this, your cool rental property look all lovely and stuff inside. And now the thing is, the other entities or crackheads that are kind of homeless in the street, looking from outside in towards your rental property, they're all there going, "Hey, it'd be pretty cool if I could get in there and have that house to myself." So they try and lean on you to then try and get back in. Now, the thing that you got to understand is, you are the most powerful thing in the universe. Nothing can enter this space, ever, unless you give it permission. There are a couple ways things can get in. If you ask them in, if you give them permission, sometimes they can try and trick you into letting them in. But if you keep your awareness up, because your awareness is your shield. Your awareness is your shield. If you feel anything around you, all that you need to know is that you are powerful and that they need your permission, and that all you need to do is just say no, and then nothing can enter that space. So I just want to bring that to your attention, guys, just about how powerful we are. The facade that we are not powerful is the thing that's been holding back the human experience. This whole lie, and how we've lost this knowledge about who we truly are. If a client came to me, and let's just say that they were 100% healed, everything was healed. Now, by what I mean by healed is, all the stuff, all the baggage, and all the stuff interfering with them up until this point has been let go. So now you've got a clean slate, and then you can choose and move forward. It doesn't mean that your life's fixed. You've still got work ahead of you and more growing to do and all of that. But you would want to back up a healing, so to speak, with an action to solidify that new, amazing, awesome you. And the only time I've noticed where this isn't permanent, lasting change is if there's actual sabotage that goes on by the client. And what I mean by that is, let's just say, for example, if a client was from a low socioeconomic, and they didn't know how good stuff could be, and they were surrounded by people that didn't have their best interests at heart, and they were always told that they were no good piece of you-know-what, and so forth. So if a client came and was 100% healed, and then went back to that old environment and didn't change a thing, well then all those old patterns, all those old everythings that we let go of during the healing, so to speak, they would then start to slowly then be recreated all over again. So what I want to bring to your attention, guys, is realizing how powerful you are, and that there's a degree of personal development that's really required to keep you moving forward. And you got to remember, guys, happiness is progress. It doesn't matter if you're moving forward at 100k an hour or 1k an hour. What matters is that you're moving forward. As the ticket to being a heart matrix healer or facilitator, if you will, the real ticket to be able to do that is becoming the right person, is being able to drop down into your heart space, because this stuff only works when you're in your heart space. And I've tried coming from a place of ego to try and be able to facilitate healing, and nothing happens. The ticket is your heart, and dropping down into that heart space. And that's what I urge everybody to do. Guys, if you feel the need to explore more about heart matrix healing and moving forward and helping people, we have facilitator training. I would love to be able to share this gift that was shared with me with as many people as I possibly can, and then have them help as many people as we possibly can. I'd like to help 1 billion people on planet Earth before I pass back to spirit, and I can't do this alone, guys. We're all in this together, and together we're strong. We're all waking up. One of the things that I noticed, looking through my journey, and when I reconnect with Source and so forth, is this paradigm that came through. So once upon a time on Earth, we were the most powerful beings, so to speak, even more powerful than the gods. And then there were measures that were put in place to dumb us down, so to speak. Now, when this new paradigm came through, well, before it came through, we all got along, and nobody wanted to hurt another person. Nobody wanted to take from another person, especially their power or energy or anything like that. Like, it was, I imagine it was a really cool time. And when the new paradigm came through, this search for external power, and coming from a place of lack and to take and so forth, and to then inflict pain and suffering and fear for as a form of control. When that new paradigm came in, however long ago it came through, and started to change things in this particular way, one of the things that I noticed as it was coming through all the through the last few centuries, so to speak, that paradigm would come through searching for external power, and then it would meet with people that were connected with self and source. And for example, like I imagine in Africa, when the paradigm came through, they would have found all the wise ones, the witch doctors. I'm not quite sure if that's what they were called, and they would have found out everything they knew, and then they would have taken them out. And the same thing has happened, with people here in Australia and people in different countries and all of that. And as that paradigm came through and all the healers were taken out of action, so to speak, the really cool part about that is the fact that, guys, we reincarnate. You can't get rid of energy. You can only change its form. What comes up comes down. And the beautiful thing is, all of us are amazing healers, and we've just forgotten. And I feel it's my job, my purpose on earth, to wake up as many as I possibly can. And us healers, guys, and I'm talking to you right now, us healers are all reincarnating, and all our little tricks and all our little abilities are all switching back on. So what I'd like to do is invite you to, come along, meet with me. We can do some type of healing, see if it resonates. If you want to continue the journey, there's always facilitated training involved. But I feel it's my purpose to wake up as many healers, because all the healers are reincarnating and it's coming back. So it actually feels like a flawed kind of thing. When this paradigm came through, of fear and lack and control and power, it was always destined to fail, because all that exists is love. And since all that exists is love, this new thing may have come in and just mixed things up and made it a little bit different. It's like, oh, that's a bit, made it almost, made it challenging, I guess. But the thing is, all that exists is love. So all us healers are waking back up, and we're bringing love back. If that's something that, is in your heart, guys, I would love to hear from you. We've got the three-tier system, so to speak. So yes, I am a Heart Matrix facilitator, but Heart Matrix is only one part of a three-part trilogy, so to speak. So we've got Heart Matrix Healing, and then we have also Empowerment Events, which is my empowerment company that has been going for quite some time now. I think Tony Robbins without the rah-rah, basically, guys. So the next step from there is, fully, like finding yourself, falling in love with yourself, recreating yourself, finding your purpose, getting a plan, getting clear, moving forward, getting great support, and surrounding yourself with like-minded people that share a similar vision to your own. That's the next step in just moving forward that way. And then after that, then there's also another step, which is Web3 Digital, which builds brands, it's websites, it's SEO, it's marketing, all of that type of stuff. So we've got the full system from heal through grow to create, and that's essentially what we are. So heal, grow, create. You can go to Heart Matrix Healing, www.heartmatrixhealing.com.au or www.empowermentevents.com.au. But to make it even easier, we've combined all three of our things, Web3 Digital, Empowerment Events, and Heart Matrix Healing, into one particular spot, one particular thing, and it's called Heal, Grow, Create. Just hashtag Heal, Grow, Create. Go to the website, go to YouTube, whatever it is that you want to do, guys. Let's all get together and help as many people as we can, and enjoy this amazing thing that we all share together. I'm Adam Mack, keeping you on track, but together, guys, we can bring love back.